Hi, I'm Mark Holder, and I'm the Happiness Doctor. Welcome to my video series on the science of happiness. This video series was designed in order not just to give you a better understanding of happiness, but to give you the research-based tools so that you can increase your own happiness and the happiness of people in your life that you care about. Traditionally, healthcare fields like psychology, like medicine, have focused on what's wrong with you and how do we fix it. They're really about deficits, disease, and dysfunction. Positive psychology is a newly emerging field that's a complement to this approach. It's not about what's wrong with you and how do we fix it. It's about what's right with you and how do we make it even better. One of the things I'm most frequently asked about is what people can do to increase their happiness. There's now 25 years of research in positive psychology. And the question is, what does it tell us? What's the single most important thing you can do to increase your happiness? Some scientists have estimated that up to 40% of your happiness is explained by your genetics. My point is to revisit that statistic of 40% of your happiness is genetic. This suggests that 60%, maybe even more of your happiness, is not genetic, and therefore, maybe there's things you can do about it. Well, science says there are things you can do. There's many social benefits of being beautiful. People who are rated as more attractive by themselves and by others have certain advantages. Social benefits. Are beautiful people happier? The short answer is no. Research in adults shows that beautiful people are not more happy, and our own results show that children are not happier who are judged more attractive by themselves and others. So, if you're trying to become happier by focusing on attractiveness and beauty, research suggests you're probably on the wrong path. I know that external beauty attractiveness is not strongly linked to happiness. What about internal beauty? When I think of internally beautiful people, I think of people who help others. They're kind. They feel and express gratitude. They volunteer. They're spiritual. They have an ability to love and be loved by others. And they have goals that are oriented toward the community, goals that help other people. What's interesting is each one of those aspects of internal beauty is linked to happiness. So we may not get closer to happiness by focusing on what we look like on the outside, but nurturing our internal beauty really does matter. Thank you. That's at the essence, the root of gratitude. And people in positive psychology are researching gratitude because of its links. So does this mean that gratitude is a pathway to happiness? Well, investigators have looked at that. And one of the ways they've done it is through looking at gratitude lists. People are instructed to write about 3, 4, 5 things that they're grateful for once a week. And when they do that, their happiness is increased compared to if they write about how their furniture is arranged in their home, or, for example, about things that annoy them. And gratitude is special. So, for example, when people write about gratitude, it increases happiness, but when they write about things they're proud of, it doesn't increase their happiness. So, is it that simple? All we need is a gratitude list and we'll be happier? Well, it's not quite that simple, and let me give you some suggestions how your gratitude list can increase your happiness. First off, mix it up. Don't just write about things from one dimension of your life. Mix it up. Write about the people in your life, your friends and your family you're grateful for. Write about your work or your schooling. Write about things in your past or the present that you're grateful for, and write about things that you're hopeful for in the future that you're grateful will be happening. Mix it up. Secondly, write about things that are surprising, unusual, or improbable. The third thing is, focus on dimensions that you don't normally express much gratitude about. So if you normally give a lot of thanks to your friends and family, but you kind of ignore school or work, focus on those, and that will increase your gratitude more by focusing on things that normally maybe go a bit unnoticed. So the research clearly shows a link between happiness and gratitude. For example, people who write a gratitude list once a week tend to be happier. If it works so well doing it once a week, imagine if you did it, say, 3 times a week. Or what if you did it every day? Well, researchers tested this, and what they found out is when people did it more frequently, they were actually less happy. It seemed to become an onerous chore when you had to write a gratitude list more often. The sweet spot seems to be about once a week. So we've all heard the saying that everything in moderation. Well, when it comes to happiness, maybe we should say that everything in moderation, including the expression of gratitude.
As a researcher in positive psychology, one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of new studies coming out on mindfulness and happiness. Mindfulness is when people are present, when the activity you're engaged in and what you're thinking about line up. In order to study this, what researchers have done is taken advantage of smartphones. Participants are given a smartphone with an app, and this app notifies them at 2 random times each day. It asks them 3 questions. It asks them how happy they are, what they're doing, and what they're thinking about. What the researchers find when they do this is that when people are engaged in one activity and they're thinking about something else, but that something else is negative, people aren't very happy. When people are engaged in an activity thinking about something else, but that something else is positive, they're a little more happy. But when are we happiest? We're happiest when we're engaged in one activity and we're thinking about that activity. However, what they noticed is that almost half the time we're engaged in one activity, we're thinking about something else, that we're not present, we're not mindful. So this means right now, people are watching this video blog, but almost half of you are thinking about something else. Basically, you're hurting my feelings.
So overwhelmingly, the research suggests that mindfulness is linked to happiness. So how can we use all this information to our advantage? How can we increase our mindfulness to be happier? One of the best ways of doing this is through meditation. Meditation works to increase mindfulness, and there's overwhelming research to show that it contributes to well-being. But having said that, it turns out meditation is one of the least practiced activities to increase well-being. But the effects of meditation, they're lasting, they're immediate, and they're really big.